We're going to finish Dr. Lanyon's narrative from The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The last video is the first piece of editing you've ever seen me do in over 1,000 videos on this channel. I had to trim the end of it. I finally figured out how to do that because I do all this on an iPhone 4. So, I did cut off in the middle of the narrative. What's going on right now is Dr. Lanyon had a drawer from Dr. Jekyll's cabinet that he had to hold on to. Hyde showed up at his house, tried to grab him, acted really creepy, wouldn't introduce himself. Hyde now has the contents of the drawer, and we will pick up there.
"And now," said he, "to settle what remains, will you be wise? Will you be guided? Will you suffer me to take this glass in my hand, and to go forth from your house without further parley? Or has the greed of curiosity too much command of you? Think before you answer, for it shall be done as you decide. As you decide, you shall be left as you were before, and neither richer nor wiser, unless the sense of service rendered to a man in mortal distress may be counted as a kind of riches of the soul, or, if you shall so prefer to choose, a new province of knowledge, and new avenues to fame and power shall be laid upon you here in this room, upon this instant, and your sight shall be blasted by a prodigy to stagger the unbelief of Satan." "Sir," I said, affecting a coolness that I was far from truly possessing, "you speak enigmas, and you will perhaps not wonder that I hear you with no very strong impression of belief. But I have gone too far in the way of inexplicable services to pause before I see the end." "It is well," replied my visitor. "Lanyon, you remember your vows. What follows is under the seal of our profession. And now, you who have so long been bound to the most narrow and material views, you who have denied the virtue of transcendental medicine, you who have derided your superiors, behold!" He put the glass to his lips and drank at one gulp. A cry followed. He reeled, staggered, clutched at the table, and held on, staring with injected eyes, gasping with open mouth. And as I looked, there came, I thought, a change. He seemed to swell. His face became suddenly black, and the features seemed to melt and alter. And the next moment I had sprung to my feet and leaped back against the wall, my arm raised to shield me from that prodigy, my mind submerged in terror. "Oh, God!" I screamed, and "Oh, God!" again and again, for there before my eyes, pale and shaken and half fainting, and groping before him with his hands like a man restored from death, there stood Henry Jekyll. What he told me in the next hour I cannot bring myself to set on paper. I saw what I saw, I heard what I heard, and my soul sickened at it. And yet now, when the sight has faded from my eyes, I ask myself if I believe it, and I cannot answer. My life is shaken to its roots. Sleep has left me. The deadliest terror sits by me at all hours of the day and night, and I feel that my days are numbered, and that I must die, and yet I shall die incredulous. As for the moral turpitude that man unveiled to me, even with tears of penitence, I cannot, even in memory, dwell on it without a start of horror. I will say but one thing, Utterson, and that, if you can bring your mind to credit it, will be more than enough. The creature who crept into my house that night was, on Jekyll's own confession, known by the name of Hyde, and hunted in every corner of the land for the murder of Carew. Hastai, Lanyon. And that is the end of that section of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If you have enjoyed these videos, you've got to check out Ellen Katz's video game, or I guess it's a Steam game, walkthrough of Fran Bow. So far, she has 17 videos up. I have watched them all and really enjoyed them. You can check those out at Ellen Katz's YouTube page, and I will leave a reminder in the descriptor for this video. I will see you next time.